Have you ever sent a text to a woman and then stared at your phone for hours, maybe even days, only to get a dry one-word response? Or worse, complete silence? You wait. You overthink. You start wondering if you said something wrong. And eventually, you feel that pull to text again just to break the silence, just to feel acknowledged. If that sounds familiar, you are not alone. This is the silent struggle many men face. They try to connect. They try to show interest. They put in effort. But instead of drawing a woman closer, they feel her drifting away. The harder they try, the more distant she becomes. And this is where most men go wrong. Because it is not just about what you say. It is about how you say it. It is about what your words make her feel. Most men do not realize this. They send texts that are logical, polite, even kind, but they fail to create an emotional response. They fail to spark curiosity, excitement, or desire. And without emotion, your words get lost in the noise. This is not a game of charm or cleverness. It is a matter of awareness, a matter of presence. And this is where Stoic philosophy becomes your greatest ally. The Stoics taught us to focus only on what we can control. You cannot control how someone responds. You cannot control how fast she replies or what mood she is in when she reads your message. But you can control how you show up. You can control your intention. You can control the energy behind your words. Texting is not just communication. It is projection. It is influence. It is leadership in digital form. In this video, we are going to break down 3 powerful texting secrets that women cannot resist. These are not shallow tricks. These are principles rooted in psychology, emotional intelligence, and Stoic thinking. When you apply them, you will stop chasing attention. You will start commanding respect and creating meaningful connection. So the question is, how do you shift the dynamic and take control of the conversation? Let us begin with the first secret. Number 1, texts that trigger curiosity. Curiosity is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology. When something captures your curiosity, your brain locks onto it. It starts looking for answers. It needs resolution. That feeling of needing to know more is what drives people to finish books, binge-watch shows, and click on headlines that promise something unexpected. It is also the reason why some texts get instant replies while others are left unread. Most men do not understand this. They text in ways that kill curiosity from the start. They say things like, "How was your day? What are you doing?" Or, "Hope you are having a nice weekend." These messages are polite, but they do not open any emotional loop. They are easy to ignore because they do not spark any desire to reply. Now think about this. What happens when you receive a message like, "I just realized something interesting about you," or "You won't believe what happened today," or even, "You did something unexpected in my dream last night"? Your brain immediately reacts. You want to know more. You feel a gap, and that gap is what triggers a response. This is where most men get it wrong. They give away too much too soon. They try too hard to sound nice, but they forget that mystery creates movement. The more you leave unsaid, the more she wants to know. Stoic philosophy teaches us something very similar. Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not necessary, do not say it." That means you do not need to explain everything. You do not need to fill the silence. You do not need to prove your worth with words. You simply need to speak with intention. And when it comes to texting, the less you say, the more power your words can hold. The key is to write texts that spark a question, not texts that explain everything. Instead of saying, "I had a strange day," try saying, "Something reminded me of you today in the weirdest way. Want to guess what it was?" Now she is involved. Now she is thinking. Now she is invested. And when she replies with the question, do not answer directly. Keep her leaning forward. Keep her wondering. If she asks what happened, you can say, "It's a little strange. But let me ask you this first. Have you ever felt like someone crossed your mind right before something unusual happened?" Now she is emotionally connected. She is not just replying, she is sharing. That is how you build chemistry, through curiosity. Most men rush the conversation. They try to impress too quickly. They try to keep her attention by texting more. But texting more is not the solution. Texting with intention is. You want to be the man who makes her stop and think. The man who interrupts her pattern. The man who makes her feel something she does not feel with other people. Every time you send a message, ask yourself this: does this make her curious? Does this open a question in her mind? Or is it just another message that will fade into the background? Building this kind of presence takes more than charm. It begins with communication, real, not performative. It's how you ask questions that matter, remember names, and make others feel seen. It's the confidence to lead without needing credit, and the humility to follow when someone else shines. Humor plays a role too. Not the rehearsed punchline, but the quick wit that shows you're present, alert, and alive to the room's energy. You don't need to be the life of every party, but if you can build friendships, cultivate your circle, and show up consistently, you will become someone others naturally trust. And when a woman sees that, she doesn't just notice you, she believes in you. Because the man who others trust becomes the man she's curious to know more about. Curiosity is often the first step towards something more profound. 3. Self-confidence, internal power, and trust. Before a man says a word, a woman often senses something. It's in how he enters a room, carries himself, and his eyes meet hers without seeking approval. This unspoken presence isn't arrogance, it's inner alignment. And nothing draws a woman closer than a man who trusts himself before expecting anyone else to. Confidence isn't about volume. It's not about dominance or attention. It's the calm in a storm, the certainty that doesn't need validation. A woman feels it when your voice is steady, your choices are clear, and you don't need to prove who you are, because you already know. It's in the pause before you speak and how you listen with patience instead of performing for attention. What makes this energy magnetic is that it offers something rare: safety. Not just physical safety, but emotional grounding. A woman relaxes in the presence of a man who isn't easily shaken, because it signals that she won't have to hold everything together. And that sense of balance is often what she's looking for, even when she can't put it into words. To become that man is not about pretending to be unbothered. It's about building trust with yourself. It begins privately, by setting small goals and keeping your word to yourself. It strengthens each time you choose response over reaction, and it deepens when you stop needing noise to feel important and learn instead to enjoy your own company. Emotional independence doesn't mean you don't care. It means you're whole before anyone else arrives. Women don't fall for perfection. They fall for presence. A man who walks without rushing, makes decisions without fear, and stands without needing applause becomes unforgettable because, in a world of distractions, he becomes a place of stillness. And stillness is where trust is born. There's a simple truth. When you believe in yourself, she won't need to question you. Confidence isn't something you perform, it's something you live. And when it's real, she feels it before you must prove it. 4. Leadership, grand discovery, direction, and decision-making ability. In every relationship, there's an unspoken rhythm. When a man knows how to lead, that rhythm flows. When he hesitates, it falters. Leadership in love isn't about dominance or control. It's about direction. It's about a man's ability to step forward calmly when everything around feels uncertain. For many women, that quiet strength allows them to relax fully into their femininity. A woman doesn't want to carry everything. She may be independent, capable, and successful on her own, but in her most profound moments, she longs for someone who can share the weight, make decisions with intent, and move with certainty. She doesn't need someone to take over her life. She needs someone who knows where he's going and isn't afraid to take her with him. You can see this in the small things. When he picks a restaurant without saying, "I don't know what you want." When he plans the day without waiting for her to decide everything. When he senses a shift in her mood, he addresses it instead of ignoring it. These may seem minor, but they speak to a man's deeper quality, his ability to hold the moment without fear. Leadership starts in daily life, not just in big gestures, but also in practicing assertiveness in the quiet corners of the day. Saying what you want, standing by your word, choosing a direction, and adjusting only when needed. Not to please, but to improve. A woman feels most at ease when she senses you're not afraid to carry the moment, especially when she's tired of carrying so much alone. Most compliments fail because they are too shallow, too common, or too desperate. Telling a woman she is beautiful might sound kind, but if she hears it all the time, it loses meaning. It becomes noise. It becomes another line in a long list of forgettable messages. When you say, "You are so gorgeous," or "You are the most beautiful girl I have ever seen," it does not hit her deeply. It feels generic. It feels lazy. And worst of all, it makes you sound like every other guy. Now let us think differently. Let us think like a Stoic. Seneca taught that we must praise not what is common, but what is rare. And what is rare in a woman is not her beauty. It is her mindset, her perspective, her presence. When you compliment something deeper than her looks, you separate yourself from every man who only sees the surface. Here is how to do it. Focus on her character. Focus on the way she thinks, the way she carries herself, the way she makes people feel. Tell her, "I love the way you see the world." Most people do not think the way you do, or say something like, "You have a calm presence." It is rare to find someone who makes others feel at ease without even trying. These compliments land differently. They speak to who she is, not just what she looks like, and that makes her feel seen in a way that very few people make her feel. Timing matters, too. Do not throw compliments randomly. Wait until she shares something meaningful. If she talks about her goals, say, "I respect how committed you are." A lot of people talk about their dreams, but you actually take action. If she shares something vulnerable, say, "I appreciate how open you are." Most people hide that side of themselves. These compliments are not only true, they are thoughtful. They require you to actually pay attention, and that is what builds emotional connection. Stoicism reminds us to observe before we judge. Marcus Aurelius wrote, that the quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. Apply that to your communication. The quality of your words reflects the quality of your attention. When you pay attention to what makes her unique and speak from that awareness, you connect in a way that physical compliments never can. There is one more reason this works. When you compliment her mind, her energy, or her behavior, you also reveal your own values. You show that you are not chasing beauty. You are attracted to depth. You value self-awareness. You admire discipline. You are drawn to what lasts, not what fades. That makes you rare, and women notice that. They remember the man who sees them for who they are, not just for how they appear. They remember the man whose words made them feel valuable for something deeper. This does not mean you should never compliment her appearance. It means that when you do, it should be specific and sincere. Not, "You are pretty," but "There is something about your smile that feels calm," or "The way you walk into a room shows confidence without arrogance." Every compliment is a chance to build connection or destroy it. Most men use compliments to seek approval, but the wise man uses compliments to reflect understanding. He is not trying to get something, he is offering recognition. Remember this. Do not compliment to impress, compliment to express. Express what you see, express what you admire, express what matters, and you will find that your words begin to carry weight. She will not just thank you. She will start to look at you differently. When you combine all three principles, you stop being someone who texts for attention. You become someone who communicates with presence, impact, and clarity. Conclusion: the Stoic mindset shift. Now that you understand how to spark curiosity, build anticipation, and give compliments that make a real impact, it is time to tie everything together. Because at the core of all of this is not just texting. It is how you carry yourself. It is how you think. It is how you choose to connect with others. And that mindset is what sets you apart. The truth is, texting is not about being clever. It is not about saying the right thing to win someone over. It is about creating emotion. It is about understanding the rhythm of human connection. When you text, you are doing one of three things. You are either sparking curiosity, building anticipation, or making someone feel seen and valued. If your messages do none of those, they are easy to ignore, easy to forget. Stoic philosophy teaches us that everything we do should be done with purpose. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That means the anxiety you feel after being ignored is often caused by your own mind, not the message itself. But when you learn to approach communication with intention, that anxiety fades. You stop overthinking. You start acting from clarity. As much as women crave emotional connection, they also crave stability. They need to know they can rely on you the same way you can. When a man is emotionally steady, it creates a secure foundation for both partners to grow, trust, and thrive together. A calm presence in a constantly shifting world can anchor everything else in place. The strategy of self-improvement. When attracting the right kind of woman and building lasting connections, self-improvement isn't just an option, it's necessary. It's easy to think that the perfect look, clothes, or flashy lifestyle will set you apart. But those are only surface-level traits. True attraction comes from what you've built inside yourself. The foundation of becoming a high-value man isn't about seeking perfection. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. And that starts with developing qualities that speak to your independence, discipline, and confidence. Improving your finances isn't about accumulating wealth to show off. It's about achieving independence and capability. It's the ability to handle challenges and create stability in your life. Financial security signals that you're responsible and have control over your world. Women are drawn to men capable of standing independently and navigating life's hurdles confidently and practically. Physical fitness is another area that speaks volumes about who you are. It's not just about looking good, it's about showing that you're disciplined, healthy, and dedicated. A regular fitness routine conveys that you care for your body and understand the importance of maintaining your health. The confidence that comes with feeling strong and capable is magnetic. It signals that you value yourself and your well-being, making others value you. Upgrading your style and grooming doesn't mean you have to become a fashion expert, but it does show that you respect yourself. It's about presenting yourself in a way that reflects who you are and where you're going. Good grooming is a sign of self-awareness and discipline. It shows that you take pride in your appearance and care about making a good impression, which women certainly notice and appreciate. But none of this matters if you don't know how to communicate effectively. Communication skills are one of the most powerful tools for building meaningful connections. A man who can express himself clearly, listen attentively, and engage in meaningful conversation is far more attractive than someone who lacks this ability. Good communication increases sociability, creates a sense of connection, and boosts confidence. It's the ability to make a woman feel heard and understood, and that's something no amount of money or appearance can replace. Learning to lead, not just in business, but in conversations, relationships, and life, is another key component of high value. Women are drawn to men who take initiative and have a sense of direction. Leading with integrity, kindness, and intelligence shows you're capable, trustworthy, and inspiring. It creates an environment where others, especially women, can feel safe, supported, and inspired to follow your lead. Ultimately, you don't need the perfect face or luxurious lifestyle. What you do need is self-confidence, sociability, and high-value behaviors. These are the traits that activate true biological attraction in women. Women are drawn to men who can stand confidently in their skin, show up purposefully, and have a sense of direction. It's not about perfection, it's about growth. And when you focus on becoming a better version of yourself, you attract the right kind of woman and create the foundation for a lasting and meaningful connection. The idea that women only care about money is not just outdated, it's deeply misleading. While financial stability plays a role, what truly captures a woman's attention and earns her respect are traits rooted in biology, psychology, and emotional intelligence. Confidence, leadership, social influence, purpose, and emotional stability. These are the qualities that resonate far deeper than any dollar amount ever could. Women are instinctively drawn to men who embody strength without aggression, direction without arrogance, and presence without desperation. These are not traits you're born with. They're skills you can develop through consistent self-work and intentional living. As you build these qualities, you become more than just attractive. You become magnetic. So remember, you don't need a perfect face or a luxury lifestyle. You need presence. You need purpose. You need to grow into the kind of man who commands respect without saying a word. Improvement takes time, but each step makes you more grounded, respected, and deeply desired. Now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's one trait you're working on right now, and how has it impacted your relationships? Share your experience in the comments below. And if this video gave you a new perspective, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful insights on attraction, self-mastery, and becoming a high-value man. See you in the next one.